What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry. Get it back in. Make sure you guys are on Robinhood right now as the giveaway starts. We got the white my bubble. 2024 was golden with customers like you. To say thanks, we are opening the vault. You guys should be seeing this and sharing 2.5 million in Bitcoin with you. We'll split it between all the gold members who join the countdown. That means you. Count me in. Let's go. Free Bitcoin. Who's upset about that? Let's bring up Bitcoin, by the way. A little bit of a bounce. Your Bitcoin is on the way. We'll notify you in about 1 day when it's ready to claim. Stay with gold for 1 year to keep the reward. Wonder how much they'll actually give you on that one. Nice. I actually missed yesterday's giveaway on the Robinhood side of things. So yesterday they gave away Dogecoin. So everyone that was on Robinhood during the countdown, I think got 19 Dogecoins. It'd be cool if they gave us 19 Bitcoins. You know, I wouldn't be upset at that. I do have to alert my crew and let them know that I'm live right now. There we go. Boom. Let's break down the markets too. I wanted to go live. I'm usually like 6:15 is when I go live, and I wanted to do that. Wanted to get that the Robinhood announcement on here, and I went live literally seconds before. So anyway, welcome everybody. What's happening? We are going to break down the markets. If you're on TikTok, I am also on YouTube. So if you want full screen, you want to see all the charts, you want to actually click rewind and pay attention to some things, it is available. But let's break things down like we normally do. Let me get the chat going. Happy New Year, Dividend Don. Yes, I go by many names, many aliases. Dividend Don, Nas Daddy. It's all the same. Am I sad? No Doge? No, I'll take Bitcoin all day. All day. The Doge they handed out yesterday has already been dug out, mined, I guess, does it? Dug out of the ground and already been replaced. You know, Doge has too much being made every day. It was like 14 million. They handed out 2.5 million. That wasn't even enough to offset anything. Bitcoin, however, they handed out some coins. There's only so many of those. Is vacation over? Not yet. A vacation is over this Sunday. This Sunday, I am back in action. So if you're in the mentorship group, shout out to all the people that joined. If you're on Patreon, welcome. We had plenty of new members. Sunday, we're kicking it off. And that is when we're kicking this year off. Right now, Bitcoin has a little bit of a bounce. We're bouncing at this zone. I already know a little bit about what futures look like, and they gapped up. Doesn't look like they're holding it, though. So to keep an eye on that. Bitcoin, ultimately, like I talked about, we're either going to bounce at this zone right here, or we're probably hopping on down to this 86 mark. I'm sure we'll have a little bit of a hiccup at this 89 level. But I think ultimately this is where things do go if this zone gives up. January historically is a bullish month. I've been trying to ask everybody, because you guys know my thoughts. I do think we're going to crash next year. A lot of people actually agree. But at the same time, different opinions. Now, it's been I'm thinking March. March is my idea of when I think it's going to happen. And I've heard February to June, but just recently I heard somebody say January. January is when we crash, which is very interesting. Meme coins have too much distribution to make them truly viable. Yeah, especially Doge. But we got the Bitcoin. Did I start early shorting Tesla? Listen, I got ripped off. I shorted Tesla. I swung Tesla, and I made a bunch of money doing it. But then I asked my chat, should I swing it or not? And people said I should just lock it in, because they're still short Tesla, so they were greedy. Now I do want a commission, because after hours it's down anymore. Tesla had this pop down, so I did close my Tesla puts. I'm hoping tomorrow for a bounce right here, because I am tomorrow. Oh no, it's deliveries might be tomorrow morning. Shoot, hopefully I was hoping they'd announce deliveries after hours. Oh no. I wanted to be short Tesla during delivery numbers. I don't think they're going to hit it. Now I don't know if it's pre-market or not. There was the Tesla explosion. There's been two things, and everyone can't wait to tell me. There was a Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside the Trump Tower, and you just can't tell me. There's no one here that can convince me that was not an actual plane attack. That is not an EV blowing up like some people can't wait to say. Uh, so, what do you say? Sorry to all the, because there's also another terrorist attack in New Orleans. So sorry to hear about all of that. Sucks to hear this is involved. I don't think it's going to do anything to the stock as far as that goes. But if everyone is expecting it, do you have doubts? If everyone is expecting the crash, a lot of people in my group, sorry, is who I've been asking. No, there's a lot of people that think 2025 is just going to continue. It's going to be bullish as ever. You think there was a guy in that Tesla truck that died? Was he the one that drove it up? Because I think that's what they do. If it's a car bombing. Too coincidental to make it pure chance that an EV blew up where it did. Yeah, the particular EV that blew up right where it did, no, get out of here. If it was a Cybertruck on some random highway going down the middle lane or something, yeah, maybe. But no. All right, let's break down the markets, see what the dollar did. Dollar is nowhere. I'm hoping that does reject. I am short the US dollar, Japanese yen. I'm actually up right now. I went short this type, just shy of this type 2, because right here, when we broke above it, I was red right here. So we're flirting with my position being red and green. I want that to actually reject and come on down, Bob Barker style. TikTok says I should encourage more viewers to share. When you guys do share, that's what pushes the algorithms. So that's a huge help if people do. Bitcoin itself, if we ever get there. One day. There we go. Like I said, Bitcoin covered a little bit earlier. Bouncing at this zone still right now in a trend down. So we need to break that first. I wouldn't really consider that broken, honestly, until we got above 98. Getting above 98, we can at least call this a horizontal pattern, and we're probably just going to hang out for a bit. But until we at least even have that conversation, right now, still very much short term, trending down. After a push up, though, not bad for Bitcoin. Bitcoin can settle down. When the Ford Kuga started catching fire on highways, that was pure chance back in 2017. Litecoin Bitcoin chart. Are you shorting that as a pair? What country are you in? Tala says, I'm investing $950 tomorrow morning into a random stock. Heck yeah. That's how you do things. What will Tesla go to by Monday? I don't even want to say it. It better be 300. But it better be after I get into a short position. Chat, can you guys do me a huge solid? Can you look up when delivery numbers are? Is it morning or after hours? That's really what I need to know right now. Oh, I'm gonna be legitimately pissed if they're announcing deliveries pre-market. God, that would suck. You think I should invest in Bitcoin or XRP? I think you should have a plan. I'll tell you, I have both of them. But I don't know your situation. I don't know anything about. What I wouldn't do is I wouldn't put money into anything right now that I would need to sell later. I do think things are going to get rough next year. So talking as investments, you're going to watch them all go down. So no way would I want to put money in there, watch it go down, make an emotional decision to sell, and then watch it come right back up. Next year for me is an accumulation year. I'm accumulating everything. The more we sell off, the better. All right, as of right now, so we had these lines here, and I've kind of figured we would stay the rest of the year in that, which we talked about back here. Pure coincidence. As of now, I have been doing this 12 years, but that was just dumb luck. Anyway, I'm excited to see where we go. Do we break this thing and head south? As of right, I don't know if I would call that a crash just yet. The crash I'm speaking of. Maybe we're getting a head start. Maybe March. If I'm wrong on March, and it is now, like there's still an opportunity. We just didn't catch the absolute peak. Tesla announcement likely before the open. God dang. The most market tops was in January. I'll have to look that up. All right, so futures actually did gap up. Now we gapped up, pushed up, rejected that blue zone. We're headed right back down. So I gotta say, if tomorrow we do close south, I'm gonna have to go short the markets and just play the overall trend. Remember, anytime we had this red down day and then we're just sideways in between, breaking above or below is likely the direction we're going to go for a bit. So that's why I think, if anything, this zone kind of held us here for a bit. But if we do break that and close, I'm going to have to go short. NASDAQ already did. Gosh. All right, so I'm actually going to go short the NASDAQ real quick. So I'm going to short the NQ contract. My stop is going to be right above this wick. I don't know if I would copy it, guys. Time and place overnight like this, you're asking to tag out. Not only that, you're asking to tag out right here and it be down here in the morning anyway. The trade's going to pan out, but it still ends up being a loser. So just full disclaimer, please do your own due diligence. That's what all the YouTubers say. But I'm going to go short right now. I don't know what's taking everything so long. In your opinion, will the production report be good or bad? I heard both. I'm thinking bad. You talking, Brandon? You're talking about deliveries for Tesla, I assume. Give me 1 second, guys. So, in QH25. Cool. 21 to 19 even. Oh, instantly red. Anyway, I'm short this. My stop is right above that wick. If we're at this blue zone tomorrow, I would just put, honestly, if we drop even below this red wick, I'll put my stop in the green and just kind of let it pan out. More than likely, that either tags out overnight, drops down. I put my stop in the green before I go to bed, and then it tags out by morning. If we just melt this thing down, I might even not even move my stop up. I might just leave it there. Just to catch more of that ride down. Earnings start to come out mid-January. May hope the market until the end of February, first part of March. I hope so. That'd be my plan. Still probably a little bit premature. The reason why I'm shorting it right here and why I'm not buying, because it's entering this zone. We already bounced out of that zone. We made it up to another lower high and right back down again. Each time you keep checking that zone, it's like just kicking a door, but you don't have the leg power. Eventually, you're going to kick that door in, right? You're gonna get in. So we bounced lower high. We kept trying it again, and we just kept getting weaker and weaker. The door kept getting weaker and weaker. We finally closed below this range, and that's why I'm going short now. Just because, like I told you guys, directionally, once we close, that's more than likely where we're headed. So that's why I took the short play. Which stock is it? This is actual NASDAQ. So if you trade the futures, this is what drives the order flow into a ticker like QQQ. QQQ is just an ETF. So tomorrow morning, like that'll actually open up a little bit down. If we were to open up right now. The man, the myth, the legend. How's it going? I just found out I got some free Bitcoin from Robinhood. Everybody was hating on Robinhood. Did your broker ever give you Bitcoin? What's funny is I get paid from Owanda. They pay me for every trade. And then Thinkorswim actually gave me a gift for being a top 1% futures. It was like a top 1% futures trader. They gave me like this little tray and had a bunch of like tiny things in there. It was actually really cool. And then Robinhood. Not TradeStation. TradeStation's never mailed me anything. Let's see. Grandpa Dow still hanging out. Let's see what the Russell's doing. Ooh, Russell actually looked the weakest a while back. I'm surprised to see that actually holding on as well as it is. I thought for sure we were breaking and going down. How much percentage cash is smart to hold on your portfolio? 20%? It's up to you, I guess. It really depends. It's not so much how much cash do you have, but where are your other positions at? Your cash is doing nothing but going down with inflation. But, you want to be able to buy the dip. You want to be able to still buy things, accumulate. You certainly don't want to be in any margin calls. Um, so that really is, I wouldn't focus on the cash number. I would focus on my other positions, I think. Now, mine's about half. Mine's about half just because of what I do while trading. That's just kind of where my emotional level's at. And then I take the other half and I sell cash secured puts. So all my money's still being used, but while the cash is sitting there, I like to just make money while it's sitting there. Otherwise, I would just put it in a bank. The margin is my cash. Marge has all my money in her purse. I can't say his name. FB. I'm going to call him FB for short. He says, Happy New Year, you all. Let's get that cash. Let's do that. It sounds like a great plan. What I want to say is let's get those shares. I do think we're still going to crash next year. And I don't mean to fearmonger. I just want everyone's mindset to really switch, because the crashes are where money is made. Your entry is where the real money is actually made. You go jacking around, getting scared of the market, or all come back because at all-time highs. What kind of nonsense is that? You know how many people tell me that? The market's not having a good year. I'll come back when it's good. Oh, cool. You're going to buy the next peak? Sweet. You're going to put your money in the S&P and make 3%. Banging. It beats a savings account. But, when you actually on the red years accumulate as much as you can, and then that grows back to regular or new all-time highs, we get back in a bull market, you'll laugh at those people. So that's why I have all this crash talk just to get everybody in gear. Like, the red is a good thing, not the cocky good thing. Like, oh, I hope it goes down. I can't stand when people say that. But really, the more it gets, as long as you're not over allocated, that's when you buy. When things go down, you're not looking at it like, oh crap, I might need that money, because that money shouldn't be in the market right now. Technically says banging. Exactly. You use the cash for cash secured puts. Yeah. I don't like my money just sitting there not making money. That to me is nonsense. All of them. I like little worker bees. I want all my money working. Looks like Tesla's going to announce that pre-market tomorrow, which sucks. Gosh, this is about as emotional as I get when it comes to stocks. I was short, but because I bought puts, right? They were just up too much for me to ignore it. We were coming into the top of this zone, so I closed my puts. I made just a little over 50% on them. It wasn't bad. But I really wish I would have held. I was thinking the second after hours. It didn't even click in my head that the market's closed and I'm not going to be able to get back in before this happens. Nice little dump on NQ. Real quick in the chat, who all followed the play I just took? If you did, just put your money in the green right now. Put your stop, move it from here to here. Just move it up. That's all. And then your risk is off the table, right? You made a Chipotle bowl, or if you're down here in the morning, you made a little bit more. Okay, that's how you really never lose. My win percentage is like 98%, mostly because I'll put my stop in the green. Yeah, it's not a home run, but if that turns around, I lock in my money and then I just get in again. Love a good bear market. Some of my best trades were in 2020. Yeah, that was the best one. When you say over allocated and shouldn't be there when the market goes down, what do you mean? That you're over leveraged with a bad entry price? No, that's just not having a plan in general. I feel like I'm having this conversation a lot because the growth count has AMD. We have 100 shares of AMD right now. Now 100 shares to someone who has $1 million, that's literally nothing. 100 shares and that's your whole account. That changes everything because now you're 100% allocated into that. Now, if you're a firm believer, that's fine. Your money's going to do whatever AMD is going to do. Kind of like solving the money problem with Tesla. He does not buy any other stock. He calls you stupid if you do. The only stock he buys is Tesla with every cent. I know what his account's doing right now. It's going down. It's easy. All right. It's just the outcome of Tesla. For him, it's fine. That was part of his plan. When I say over allocated, an easy thing for me to know when you're over allocated is when it goes down and you're panicking. That's it. If you believe in AMD, right, and it goes down and that doesn't like affect you and you're not getting emotionally triggered by it, then you're good. Whether that was the right pick or not, time will tell. But what you don't want to do is have too much in one ticker. You see these red candles and then sell at the bottom, because that's when you will sell. You don't think Tesla gets pumped tomorrow, especially with the Q4 deliveries? I think they're going to miss Q4 deliveries. Right now, my best play is I'm going to short Tesla regardless. I just want a green candle first. So if Tesla does have, if Tesla has a good deliveries, if Tesla has good deliveries, that would surprise me. As far as technical analysis goes, that wouldn't surprise me, because this in this yellow zone is where you would be buying the stock anyway. So you can call it a coincidence, whatever you want. If they have a good deliveries and it bounces, I think I'm going to go short. And I just want to go short because Tesla, again, investment account. I have two separate accounts: investment account and trading account. When Tesla has a run up like this, it just comes back down. Just find me a time where it hasn't. Now you can get fooled, and and this could very much happen again. You think that's the peak, and then it goes for another leg up. You really don't know where the top is at. So to me, I like catching the knives. I like to front run that risk. So I'm hoping we pop up, maybe make another lower high, so I can go short and then ride that down. Why do I think Tesla will have a bad? The real world, who's out here buying cars? I think automotive is getting destroyed. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to go short GM. I don't know what's up with TradingView, but it's red. These are my two alerts. When these alerts go off, if it goes up here, I was going to go short. If it breaks below, I'm going to go short. But tomorrow, my main account, I can't do this in the growth account because I have the growth accounts in Robinhood. That's the one where I post all the plays. This is going to be my other account. So just for everyone that agrees with the play, right? Because I don't do call outs. I just tell you everything I'm doing as I'm doing it. I'm going to go ahead and short GM now. I think automotive gets bent over. I don't think anybody's out here buying cars right now. So I'm just going to short shares. I'm not doing puts. I'm not doing put leaps or anything like that. I'm going to flat out short the shares and hang on to it for a bit. Let's see. Someone says, FB says, wait till Starlink IPOs. I can tell you guys right now, don't buy the Starlink IPO. No, again, everything I'm saying right now sounds like I hate Elon or Tesla. That Starlink IPO is going. They're going to talk about a price. It's going to we're going to IPO it at $45 a share. It's going to open up at 300. Wait till that one chills. Can you explain how to short shares? As long as you have a Robinhood's really the only one I think that doesn't allow you. You just click sell. You sell to open and buy to close. That's all it is. FB says, I'll buy dips on Starlink. Now, Starlink will be one that I can tell you right now I'll probably have in my account. I'm hoping for the IPO. The pump comes in. Everybody takes their quick profit, and I'm going to make that quick move. Can I draw a little take profit stop loss on your GM play for your chart? Yeah. So I'm going to go short tomorrow. My stop's going to be above here. So I'm going to risk 11. Let's go 64.45. All right. Should be good. All right. So I'm going to risk $11. Perfect. Ooh, we're pushing it. Let's go 64.85. Okay. 64.85. I'm betting we at least get back down to this bottom zone. Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me draw my. Where's that at? I have to draw it there. So we have all this TikTok. You can't see it. There's all of this back here, but going up front, typical supply and demand. People will probably draw that zone a little bit lower. We could probably fine tune it a bit. Yeah, that's where it's going. Okay, so take profit's going to be right there. Now, what I'm hoping for is we have some kind of little hiccup right inside this area, probably right here. So we go short, bounces, makes a lower high. I'll go short again into here, and then same thing. We'll see how we're at as far as plays go. We're gonna risk $11 to make 20. That kind of sucks, but it's GM. I have to put my stop loss that high. If you really wanted to tighten it up, maybe take a bigger position, you could entertain putting your stop right above this previous high. You know, that point you're going to risk $2, for 20. Which if that gets you to sleep at night, that's cool. I don't want to babysit this position, so I'm going to put my stop up here and call it a day. With Schwab, GM is hard to borrow. Do other brokers have it differently? Hopefully it's not hard to borrow. If it is, then I won't do it. I wonder what I could. Let's just see how cheap let's see how cheap puts are. How many contracts do I trade of NQ? Just one overnight. Someone said lots of gaps in that chart. Yeah. Fill every one of them. Hopefully the one closer to 0. Government Motors just getting wrecked. As soon as it loads, if it's hard to borrow, then I will have to do puts. Puts just kind of suck because you give yourself an expiration. Let's go GM. Let's January, February, June. Where is... Okay, January. Okay, okay, so we'd have to go... Well, we have a September. So I could buy a September put. I would need to drop $5. I would only want to risk a couple thousand on that one. What's that put us at? So if we go, if it drops down to 33, that's a $20 move. So that would go from 500 to 2,000 each one. I think a 1 to 4, I guess. My position would be considerably less on this, but that's what I would do. I would just go. I would have to do the 50s. 50s will probably be a little bit more liquid. I'll do the 50 strike for September. Why out to September? I don't want to jack with it. I don't want to babysit it. I just think next year is going to be bad. And I don't want to think what if it doesn't happen in March and it happens in June? The last thing I'd want is to buy June puts and we start crashing in June. Happy New Year and birthday in 3 days. I appreciate that. What do you guys give me for my birthday? I give you guys the answer key to the stock market. What's happening? Just kidding. If you want, you could join the Patreon and come say happy birthday to my face on Zoom night. Let's break down some tickers real quick. Upstart have the 63 strike put expiring Friday the 3rd. GM better get some shares. Hey, we hit 4,500 followers on the TikTok. Willing to bet you're going to own that. You're going to own that at 63. And to answer the question, this is what, again, this got called out last week. It was, hey, this is in the bottom of the zone. Now, I bought it actually at this zone, and you watched it go from here to here. But I didn't buy it at this zone. I told you guys, and 100% what I saw was, and you can just watch last week. If you're on TikTok, you have to go to YouTube. You can watch last week's stream multiple streams. This gets called out a lot, where I said I'm not buying it. Difference being the market's trending down. We're in a short term kind of pullback. We're at the end of the year, not a lot of volume, and right now that did look like a bear flag. Now it's a bear flag or reversal. It could have just as easily bounced, but with everything just kind of headed south, that's why I didn't. I said there's no rush. When things are selling off and they're trending down, there's really no rush to catch any knives because what happens? Could just go lower. And if you liked it at 63, you're going to love it at 51. Birthday coupon code. Hey, I wish Patreon doesn't do that. We can Venmo you a birthday drink. I've never done that, but I don't know why. You know how many times I've sent out Venmo money because people have it? I'm like a sucker. If they have it on their car or something, like, yeah, I got you. Get a drink. Don only drinks Monsters. Nope. I had that Monster the other day, and it's sad. I'm already feeling it right now. When I drink Monsters, I am just drowsy the next day. I think Monsters specifically are designed to make you tired, so you go buy another one. Because right now, 100%, I am craving a Monster. Still might have one. Market's flushing. Yes. For anyone that followed the play earlier, you're welcome. Let's see. Upstart. Now personally, I have Upstart. Upstart and AMD are the top two I'm going to be accumulating a decent chunk. AMD for sure. If let's say I'm going to buy whatever number is in your head, 100,000, 10,000. I just want to say $100. I'd say 70 of that's going to go into AMD, 30 of that's going to go into Upstart. Primarily because Upstart, I think, is going to be a good 6 to 12 month play. AMD is going to be one I hold for some time. So allocation wise, I feel a lot. But if they're dipping down, that's how I'm going to allocate it. AMD gets a little bit more. Upstart, it gets some. So I don't want to sound like 70-30 isn't a lot. I don't want anybody to just like, oh, that's nothing. Like it's still a great play. I think. But as it sells off, I'm just going to hang out and let the sellers do their thing. Because if I'm going to spend, let's take that 30 grand, 70 grand. I could have put 30 grand into this. And it's not that it's down, but I could have bought 30 grand worth of shares at $70. But if it pops back down here to 50, now take that 30 grand and buy as many shares as you can at $50. Now imagine both plays go back up to $85. Think how many more shares you have. Think of you like an asset. Just think of if each share was a rental property, and technically each batch of 100 shares will be when I sell calls against it. Just think of how many more rental properties I'll have. So that's why the more it sells off, the better. And right now with the market selling off, then we're doing good. Oh, don't bounce. Get out of here. That nonsense. I don't need this recovering. Let's go. If you guys don't trade futures from here to here, it's actually a decent move money-wise. So while you think that's not a lot, and that's the dangerous part. If you've never traded futures before, try paper trading it first to watch your P&L move because you're thinking like, that's it. That's nothing. Now, yeah, I want it to go zone to zone. But for a lot of people, this will catch you off guard. Especially they'll have like a day rate where instead of, thousands, it's a few hundred, it's $1,000 for a contract, and then it melts down. In case anyone's about to ask, I don't do the fake accounts that everyone else does on YouTube. The paper trading where you technically get paid if you ever make it. Prop account. No, I have real money, and I have a real contract right now. $500 is $500. It is, but what people don't realize is that is $500, and then like when it makes that move, they see a tiny candle and it hasn't registered in their brain, and then that's how you get. I've seen a lot of people lose a lot of money in futures because they think that's tiny. They don't realize what their position is because that is a leverage play. Are there any SPY calls I would consider? Not yet. Make sure you guys are following me because when I do buy SPY calls, wait till I show you. I'd like to follow your futures trades, but not overnight yet. Yeah. I did I just draw this out? I did. It was in a video. I don't know if it's live yet, but it's coming. You guys have to let me know. I'm doing the edit thing. Let me know how the new styles play out. I'm gonna play with it a little bit. Um, you doing the Nasdaq 100 futures? Yeah. NQ's the contract. I tried to pay my bills in paper money once. The cable company wasn't amused. See, I usually ask them for a Black Friday special, and they never give me one. Now, if this is how the crash plays out, similar to 2022, all I did was copy those candles and move them over here, and I drew those zones and then moved those candles over, and coincidentally bounced at every one of them. Uh, things do pan out a lot like that. It's just a characteristics thing. It's a not the most what I'm thinking coincidence, not the craziest coincidence to be honest. SPY gets to 500. That's when I would be following my SPY calls because I'll be buying leaps. Buying leaps right now is a garbage play. Buying leaps when SPY pulls back to here, you could if the overall market has pulled back that much, just think of what Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Apple, Google, Palantir, Intel. Intel might just sit this one out because it's already down enough. AMD, a lot of those are probably going to double in percentage-wise what the S&P is down. But that's why I'm talking about this crash so much is because you want to have the funds. If there's a play to be following, it's when I'm buying that dip because it's leaps. When I am taking leverage plays, I am buying calls. I'm going to buy the S&P and the NASDAQ futures, but the forward contract because we're going to sit on them for a little bit and just let the buyers come in and do their thing. And that will be the most money you'll make during any bull market ever. Buying that dip versus we've been in the bull market for a couple of years, and it's just another year. What are the computer specs you're using? Now I have to change. It's a Power Spec G439. I remember that. I have the 3070 Ti, Super Ti graphics card, and an i7, which is all getting upgraded because now that I'm editing, like it edits fine, but I want it to be faster. So I'm getting a new computer. I got a new editor keyboard. It's got a little knob on it. I'm going to look like a pro at least. How do you know when the bottom will be on the crash? We're going to chalk that up to my 13-year lucky streak, and it'll just be another coincidence. Get the i9. The next one does have the i9. I am buying another one Friday. Just join the live. What dip are you talking about? The best one. I think the market's going to crash for those guys that are just joining next year, and I think the S&P, it could look similar to this. I don't think it's going to be a Rona-style crash. I think we grind this thing down, which means there will be plenty of rip-your-face-off rallies. So you don't want to go too crazy on the short side and get blown out to the upside because the last thing you want to do is hold. Now, I don't actually know where the bottom will be at, but I can tell you where I'm going to turn the money printers on, but the more legal version where I'm just going to start deploying cash. I'm sure there's a good saying for that. I think deep correction or crash. Remember, pullback 1 to 9%, a correction 10 to 19%, and a crash is 20% or more. For those of you guys that are on TikTok, make sure you unfollow everybody that talks about a 5% crash or a 10% crash. You just say, thanks for everything, thank you for your time, and then you click unfollow for not knowing these most basic definitions. Just kidding. Follow whoever you want. But I'm thinking bare minimum 15 to 19%. I think we're at least in the high teens. And that we could crash 25%. But at that 15% mark, I'm blue light special as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to be just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with the shopping cart ready. And I'm not just going to go like hand pick things. I'm going to take my arm to the shelf, just start knocking things in the cart. Like I'm going like I'm on a game show. Because it's not like we're going to be, I don't think we're going to be in another lost decade or just Trump's going to screw the market for the next 4 years. I've heard some crazy stuff. I just think we're going to correct normal correction or crash. The markets go through it all the time. And then you buy the dips. Oh, it's not going to be next year. It's this year. I forgot. Give us a couple weeks in advance notice when buying those big money leaps so I can figure something out. Technician, I go live every night. I'm talking about this months in advance. 2022. Remember seeing Netflix go from 700 to 180, then back to 900? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that all too well. Dakota says, I'm ready this time. It's a lot cooler when you guys agree with the plays and we talk about it instead of the I wish I would have listened plays. But if your money is tied up in cash secured puts, will you just close them no matter what, where they are to redeploy the funds? Yeah. Yeah, if it's timed by the dip, I don't think we're gonna just bounce on a dime, and just turn. So when we're down here, I'll let those puts expire, or maybe I'll start letting them get assigned. There's no more rolling. I'm gonna start taking the shares. So if I am still in puts, we would need to, if there was some kind of signal, I would close the puts. Let's say we get a I always forget this word. YouTubers going to start saying it a lot. Capitulation. Let's say we get a capitulation day where you just know, hey, that's the bottom. We're so oversold, it doesn't matter. I checked outside. There's no mushroom clouds. No nukes are going off. We should just not be down this much. If that's the case, I'm buying it up. But other than that, I'll probably just let them close Friday and then take care of what I need. I buy what I need to buy Monday. It won't be like a on the 5-minute chart kind of thing. The bottom will be a grind lasting weeks. Yeah. Which is why I'll be buying leaps, which is a full year, and shares of a lot of stuff. What do I do with my money awaiting the crash? Liquidate. Nah. I had this plan the other. Maybe it's not out yet. There's a video coming out on YouTube. I have a helper now. My admin in TikTok. She's actually my helper. She could probably tell you when the video is coming out. But I do say put everything on a totem pole in order of importance. Okay, if the markets crash, you have some titans in there. Like there's you do whatever you want. In my opinion, no real reason to be fearful and sell Nvidia or Meta. And I say that because what if I'm wrong? What if it's not that deep or anything like that? You went ahead and sold you went and sold a titan, because when the crash is over, the money floods back in. When the tide comes back in, it's going to those first: Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia. So you don't want to be out of those. So writing those down, there's other things you want to chop first. If I'm in NEO, Ford, GM, anything automotive, if I had 100 of each, Nvidia's at the top, and then I got NEO and Ford and GM at the bottom, just because it's automotive. I would get my ducks in order now. So when we do turn around, because what if I'm wrong and the crash doesn't happen? We might just stay on this grind for the next 15 years. Okay, it could happen. But when we officially kind of like, hey, we're clearly trending down, you chop the fat, you lean it up a little bit, ride that thing down, and then you buy the dip. Tesla numbers rally, Nvidia CEO keynote at CES on Friday. I hope he says some awesome stuff. I mean, have you ever seen him, the CEO of Nvidia? Have you ever seen him go to a keynote and say anything bearish? That dude comes out and he's like, listen, your life's going to change in the next 30 days, and we're going to own it. And we're already reading your brainwaves, is basically what he comes out on stage and says every time. Is TikTok where you post most of your stuff? No. It looks like I'm actually inactive on TikTok because it doesn't even record and post it. No, YouTube's where I post everything. But when I go live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. You don't use X very much to post on? No, I need to. It's not that I don't like it. I don't know what to post every day. I really don't. Plus, if you're in my group, I answer to them. If you're part of the Patreon, you join the course or anything like that, like you're in the Discord with me all day. Those guys keep me busy. I'm getting tagged nonstop. So like anytime I get on my phone, I actually check my chat first, see who tagged me. I'd start scrolling up, seeing what's highlighted yellow and start replying to that. So that's usually why I'm not on TikTok or anything else, because I probably did just answer everyone's questions. Let's get back to breaking things down. I forgot we're looking at the list right now. How much is your Patreon for the daily guidance? Listen, if I was a lot better at selling, I would know the price. It's tier 3, I know that. Um, when I say I'm busy, again, it's really not like what a girl says they're busy. It's because they just didn't want to talk to you. I think I'm 100% busy, so I had help building that as well. Maybe someone in the chat knows the answer. But it's tier 3. Tier 1 is all the plays. Tier 2 is Mike. He goes live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tier 3 is all that, plus I go live every night. All right. We talked about Tesla. Tesla, sounds like you're already on that ride, regardless. If they do deliveries pre-market, whether you're in calls, puts, shares, you'll be able to manage if you want to get out. But if you're on Robinhood, you can take that right now. Let's actually see what's at. Robinhood opens up in 15 minutes, so we don't know just yet. It's if there wasn't deliveries, this would be a buy for Tesla, even for an oversold bounce, dead cat bounce. So we'll see what deliveries are. We'll probably have a lot more to talk about tomorrow night. I will break down Uber. Give me 1 second. Did I tag out of your future short? No, I'm hanging on to it. So when you join Patreon, do you get access to your paid Discord chat channels? Yep. Yeah, when you join Patreon, there's a bot in there. So you just click join through that. It's the tier 2 and tier 3, yeah. And I'm on vacation right now. I come back Sunday. But I go live every night before the stock market opens the next day, which is why it's Sunday through Thursday. And then Sunday and Thursday are actually Zoom nights. So hopefully you got a camera so I can see your face. All right, Tesla, we got QQQ. We already went over. QQQ actually bouncing right now. Yeah, Austin, I didn't move my stop up. I was telling everyone else, put your stop in the green, and then just if you follow me and that's all you're doing, you need to get your stop in the green. I'm letting mine go. But what I don't want is someone to lose their money because they didn't move their stop up. That's it. We'll see if it holds this zone. Honestly, I would not mind that being an L and we get like a lower high at this zone. Really would not mind that. I discovered you years ago through Brad and Fat Man Zoom. Rip Christian. Missed that dude's smile. Yeah. I was just thinking about him the other day just because I still have some TikToks with him in there. Okay, we got Amazon. Amazon, Neo, Uber. Amazon. Well, probably to see what tech's doing right now. Next week's going to be our first real week back. I think that's where banks are coming. They might come in just hot. I'm sure a lot will be watching Tesla. I would be watching for a bounce here and a lower high. These are the expected moves for the week, so I would be very surprised if we actually were to exceed that 217 or even go 2 standard deviations down to that 210 level. With tax credits possibly ending on EVs, Tesla may not miss the Q4 deliveries. Man, that is some hope right there. Come on, baby, let's do it. I'm not saying like you're being hopeful. Now I'm being hopeful because I sold my Tesla puts. If whatever excuse we can get Tesla to pop, I'm going to short it regardless. But I would like it to pop first. Your content is top notch. I appreciate that. We get with the lives. We can also turn on our cameras and all interact. Is that what you said? Yeah, with the Zoom streams on Zoom on Sunday and Thursday. Yeah, I'll go over the tickers. If you call something out, yeah, you can unmute yourself. I do like it. I like the Zooms because right now I'm in a basement talking to myself. There's a little LED I'm looking at that tells me my camera's on, and hopefully you guys are watching on the other side. Zooms, I at least get to see your faces. And then if I'm making you cry, I know, like, do I double down or do I pull back? You know? Neo, what is the weekly expected on that? Looking to start selling calls. I need another range. Ooh, you're a little late on this week's range. We can pull that up, though. I'd be worried about next week. January 3rd, you got 22 cents left. Between now and January 10th, we're expecting a 41-cent move on Neo. So it puts you right about 480. Any good memory with Fat Man Zoom you can share? Fun times with Brad. He came out to visit me, and we went to Top Golf, and he absolutely destroyed me. And I'm super competitive, so I did not like that. But, like, he said, I'm so far ahead, he's not even competing with me anymore. I could have pushed him off the edge. I was like, yeah, you are. It is never, I don't care if there's 1 second left in the game. There's still a chance something happens and I win. But yeah, so like he was at Top Golf and he was just crushing it. And then I did a bunch of thumbnail pictures and it was just super awkward. And he just grabbed the camera and started taking a bunch of pictures. It was hilarious. On Zoom night, he's shirtless for all you ladies on the fence of joining. Palantir 100 this year. If I was any other YouTuber, I think I would say that. I don't think so. If I'm right about a crash, no. If I'm wrong about the crash, yes. If I was selling calls on Neo, I guess I'd be selling the 5s for next week. Would that get you anything? $4. So you would tie up $400 buying 100 shares, and then you would collect $4. You'd at least be making 1% minus fees. Let's check out Uber real quick. Do I use the wheel? Yeah, my car wouldn't run very well without them. I use 4 of them, as a matter of fact. My Bronco has 5. Technically, my trucks do too. They all actually have 5 wheels. Yeah, I use them. Great discovery. Great discovery. Things would have been a lot harder if everything was made of squares. Yes, the wheel strategy. Technically, yeah. The wheel strategy is pretty straightforward, right? You sell puts when you get assigned. You sell calls. I like to move mine around and dance around it a little bit. You just learned about it. Yeah, a lot of people, when you're learning about the wheel strategy, they'll probably tell you to sell the 30 delta. I like to sell the 20 delta and just, I would rather collect less and then manage it less and just make free. I call it free internet money. Uber, man, talk about hanging on for life. If Uber breaks this zone, we hop on down to the 57, and that's where I would be nervous. Uber breaks that 57 mark. You ever like go to the pool in the summertime and you watch somebody just tuck their knees to their chest and yell cannonball? I could probably put that animation on this chart because I wouldn't be worried about a floor on Uber for a little bit if it did break that. $8 of Bitcoin dust for free from Robinhood. Hey, that's $8 you didn't have before. And if you were walking down the street and you saw $8 on the floor, you would pick it up and probably make a post about it. Burberry Blender, who just learned about the delta or the wheel strategy. You're selling the 10 to 15s. The problem with selling the 10 delta is you will collect a lot less. The difference in selling the 10 deltas and the 20 deltas, huge. And when you finally get your shares or you have those plays that just, it ends up not being worth it. The 20 for me was the sweet spot. And it's awkward you said 10 to 15 because I never actually sell the 20s. I don't sell over 20. It's the closest to 20. Oftentimes like a 17 or 18 delta. Yeah, James, on the call side and the put side. Spy, please. Just for you, I will. User 1599-5897-13758. You know, I told my friend you were going to join tonight. All right, so Spy actually sold off, hit that zone, bounced back up. Let's see if it recovers. Let's see how much of a recovery we get. Right now, guys, if you guys forgot, it is New Year's. A lot of people are probably just now waking up. This is overnight action. This is not something I would put any real weight on, but it's here, so we can talk about it. Right now, you want that to bounce. If you're any kind of bullish at all, you want this to bounce. You asked for SPY. This is the SPY futures. SPY is an ETF. So as of now, SPY will gap down tomorrow morning if we stayed right here. That is the expected move for the week, so it would not surprise me to see us actually keep it inside this range. Did somebody ask something? Let's see. We're here, Don. Let's see. Casey's answering somebody saying it's a month-to-month subscription. Yeah. Let's see. 6 minutes to 9 hours. Yeah, for Robinhood. Covered call leaps at 60 to 70 delta, then 20 delta sells. Poor man covered call. Yeah. That's a calendar spread. So if you're talking to an actual options person, what you're doing is a calendar spread. But if you're not buying 100 shares and you're buying a leap, that's a lot of people call it a poor man's covered call. Let's do a few more tickers before I get out of here. Who has Robinhood and who got your free Bitcoin today? Also asked if you could talk about stop hunting. Stop hunting's easy. It's so you drop a giant order. Let me find trying to see if I can find one on here. So this could be taken as a stop hunt. This is not, as a matter of fact, but this is what you would see. So the stock's right here. So you get someone like Goldman Sachs, and they drop a big order. Right now, they use algos to get in so that they specifically don't do this. But if they want, you just market sell a giant order, and it drops the price down. So in this case, it would have dropped it down to here. Now everyone's stop loss is triggering left, right, front, and center. You're panicking. Your friend's panicking. Everyone's selling, and their stop orders are hitting. So they caused it. Starts an avalanche, and then they start buying it up. So while everyone's panic selling right here, the people who actually sold, who hit that giant market order to sell, is actually buying everything right here. So what they do that to create that entry liquidity. They need everybody to sell. Otherwise, if they everything they wanted to buy right here in this area, if they just did it right here, your average fill price would be way up here. So they create that panic, and then everyone's like, "Here, take my shares, take my shares." And they're like, "Gotcha, right this way, right this way." And then they take all your shares. Then everybody figures this out. Now we're buying again, and it shoots back up. So all they did was a sell order and then a buy order a little bit cheaper, and let all the buyers come in right back after. So it's actually super easy to do if you have real money, like big money. Um, it's also super easy to do if you have a big following and you're doing like penny stocks. It's a form of manipulation. Just understanding the supply and demand aspect is really all it is. But a lot harder to do on the tickers that I watch, just because you can't do that with $1 million. You try selling $1 million worth of Tesla, you would only legally create the beginning of a candle. That's it. It would fill instantly. CONY. What's Coney? From Sonic ETF, Title ETF Trust. Oh, so, man, they're pumping these things out like crazy. You guys like that ticker? We have an options income strategy. These guys basically do what I do. So they'll own the ticker and then they sell options against it. And for those of you guys that don't know how to do it, you would just buy this particular one. And in theory, it should perform a little better. It would hold up better when your particular, like this one's Coin. So Coin, they own Coinbase shares and then they sell options against it. Usually these pay a monthly dividend. This one looks new. So this one paid $1 dividend, a $2 dividend. $1.33. Have we been in the wrong one? We've been in Beto. Hang on a second. Have we been in the wrong one? I thought Robinhood gave Doge, not Bitcoin. Doge was yesterday, Bitcoin today at the beginning of the stream. Interesting. Oh, man. I kind of like this one. I like what it is. And they're doing, hang on, Roaring Kitty just posted something. Oh, God. Hang on, Robinhood just opened up. I just want to see if GameStop's up. I have Roaring Kitty notifications on for X because usually when he tweets something, I'll get 9 million responses. What do you think's going to happen to GameStop? You know, and I have no idea. All right. Beto is probably better, to be honest. I was going to dump into Beto if Coney didn't recover. This pays a little bit of a better dividend. Beto is a Bitcoin futures ETF, so it's a different operation. I would probably rather have this, and take this with a grain of salt. If I'm right about the market crashing and things just pulling back, you would probably rather have this because at least you're collecting that dividend along the way. It'll perform better on the downside, but you'll be better off buying the dip on coin and it sending up because this will kind of cap the profit when they start selling calls against it. Hey, what do you think's gonna happen with GameStop? I don't know. I wish they'd get the MOAS over with. I'm tired of everybody talking about it. I'm just glad I don't hear anything more about AMC. When do you think it will crash? My personal guess, again, it's just throwing darts, is March. We might be wrapping this stream up. This doesn't get anywhere. MicroStrategy. This should gap up in the morning. I'm sure on Robinhood this is up right now just because Bitcoin had bounced. Bitcoin will drive a lot of this. MSTX had a $14 dividend last. Why am I in MSTY then? MSTY had like a $4 dividend. MSTX had a $14 dividend. I'm firing somebody. Who called out MSTY? With your little $3 dividend. Get out of here with that. I do have some of this. That'll probably be up tomorrow morning. MSTX. A MicroStrategy ETF. Oh, no one cares about that. Here's a $14 dividend. Please don't leave us. You're probably down $60. Can we give a little bit better? Just kidding. Someone's not fired. A 2 times. Ooh, I'd be careful. If you think Bitcoin's going to actually have, if there's going to be anything to this bounce, that might not be bad. I would front run the risk. Honestly, my stop would be 32.35 on this one. You think Tesla crashing on news deliveries? I think so. But there was something that got brought up in my chat about a lot of people think it's not going to because of the tax benefit running out. So maybe everyone did just kind of rush in and buy all the Teslas that they were. All right. Let's send it. Let's see if MicroStrategy's up. MSTY is up. Mara's up to 1704. Beto 2319. These are Robinhood prices. What are we looking up? MSTX, MSTR. MSTR is 299 right now. Is that a bounce? All right, I'm gonna do RGTI, but then I gotta get going because this is only getting worse. Whatever's going on here. $299.56. We were literally just on this too. I'm surprised I'm even still alive with you guys. All right, so it's up $6. Tesla's up to 408. Oh yeah, get some. Send it. I'm still going to buy puts on Tesla. Not right at the bell, but if Tesla pumps or pushes tomorrow, that was my plan. I bought puts, closed puts, before the bell to what's today? Wednesday, Tuesday. And I was hoping Tesla would bounce and I would get back in puts. So I'm still very much looking at that trade. Junior Garcia says Tesla market going to be crazy tomorrow due to Cybertruck explosion and earnings call. It's a delivery, not really earnings call. The Cybertruck explosion was a terrorist. I'm going to go ahead and say it was a terrorist thing, not an EV or Tesla thing. I think they use a Cybertruck because of Elon and Trump. It was Elon at Trump Tower, basically. It had nothing to do with EVs or the company Tesla. Please post in Discord when you buy puts. I do. All right, RGTI. Now, this was a quantum computing one, right? Zip Trader talked about how there still could be some momentum on this. With all of this price action, I would just be long. I'd put my stop at 14.15. We break this base, it's headed south. If we're going to continue up, boom. That's this bit. I'd rather buy it here than buy it. Same price, 15.66. I'd rather buy 15.66 here than 15.66 here. And hopefully you guys can see the difference. Is my Discord free? There's levels to it. There is a free Discord. You'll get general chat. And if you join the Patreon, tier 1 is where you get my call outs of what I'm trading in my growth account. And then tier 3 is where I'm live every night and then you get mentorship chat. Lori says, I see an M. M is for making money. Just kidding. It's an inverse W. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to wrap it up here. Glad I went live tonight. Shout out to everybody on Robinhood who got that free Bitcoin. Markets are finally back. Everyone on TikTok, the link to my Discord should be on the link tree right there. Anyway, next week we're back. We're rocking and rolling. So let's finish up this week. Tidy up whatever you have to. Happy New Year's, everybody. And gosh, I'll be 37. I guess not tomorrow. I was going to say, next time you see me, I'll be 37, but that'll actually be Sunday. I'm still 36 for now. Anyway, have a good one, ladies and gents. I'll see you then.